They told me. Son, you're special. You were born to do great things. You know what? They were right.
Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. So you're probably wondering what in the hell I'm doing playing BioShock, a game that came out years ago. Well, I'll tell you. This was not my plan. I wasn't planning on doing this after Legend of Grimrock was beaten. I was planning on more than likely going back to Mass Effect 3 and playing the multiplayer. Also, I am extremely happy right now. I will not share why I am extremely happy right now, because this isn't a blog, but I'm pretty happy right now. So if I sound giddy at all, it's because I'm pretty happy right now. But anyway, to the matter at hand, I was going to play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and I did, actually. I played it for like 4 hours. I recorded stuff. I played it, but guys, I just can't do it. It's just not very fun for me. I totally understand if other people find it to be fun, but I have already played like 100 hours of the single player, and so basically anything in the multiplayer that isn't new, that isn't, you know, one of the new races or one of the new weapons, just completely bores me, because I've already played with all that stuff in extreme... I played with it at length, and I'm tired of that stuff. And unfortunately, in order to get the new stuff, BioWare has this incredibly asinine and quite frankly very greedy system of requiring you to basically, to get any of the new races or the good weapons, to buy premium Spectre packs, or at least Spectre packs, for the ultra rare stuff. And then you have a very small chance of actually getting what you want. And for 100,000 credits, essentially, per premium Spectre pack, that's a lot of playtime. I basically got maybe enough credits for like 3, and I also happen to have over 1,000 BioWare points just sitting around. No idea where those came from, because I do not recall shelling out 20 bucks to just be sitting on BioWare points at some point. So I don't know what happened there, but for the hell of it, I just spent them all on premium Spectre packs, and I got a few weapons. I didn't get any races that I wanted. I don't think I got the Solarian Engineer. I didn't get any Krogan or Batarian or Vorcha or Geth or the Phoenix guys. Those are all the ones that I particularly want to play. I didn't get any of them. Out of all those, I didn't get any of them. And my experience is I can't play in Gold or Silver because people will boot you. You have to be basically max level to play in those difficulties, certainly Gold. Considering that the vast majority of people I was playing with in just Bronze were all like 16 to 20, so I don't know what that's about. I'm guessing Bronze is just demolishing it is one of the fastest ways to actually get credits, so that's why a lot of players, even with their high-level characters, are still playing in Bronze. But that makes it extremely, even more boring for me, because I'm playing with, on Bronze, a bunch of level 16 to 20s, on average, somewhere in there, and they're all Geth, or Quarians, or apologies that I'm going to be talking through this stuff, but there's subtitles as well, just in the game if you really wanted to hear it. But I have so much to say that I can't like pause. But anyway, I'm playing with a bunch of max level guys, or high level guys, are all playing on the new races with the best weapons, and all the new races from the DLC they released are infinitely better than the base classes. The Batarians and the Vorcha and the Geth and the Quarians and the Krogan, and even the Asari that shipped when the game came out, and the Krogan too that shipped when the game came out, but they're all so much better than the base classes. It's basically just impossible to compete with these guys because they kill everything instantly. And it just makes it even more boring, essentially, because I feel I mean, I can kill stuff and whatever, but I just don't feel like I'm really contributing very much because they're demolishing everything. And, you know, I played a bunch of matches. I played like 4 hours for 3-4 hours, I think. And I wasn't always dead last. I was dead last at times. You know, I was even second at one point. But it's still, I always feel like I'm useless. And it's just not very fun. It's not very fun. It's boring. I just refuse to play the game for like 20 hours to actually unlock the stuff that I want to even get to that point. And the really terrible thing for me is that even if you have 1,000,000 credits, you're still not guaranteed to unlock anything that you want because it's all random chance. And you have a really low chance to get the ultra rares even with the premium Spectre packs. It's just asinine, and I just refuse to shell out that much time. All good things if you're watching the video of this Earth flow into the city. I believe that's a reference to Rome and the aqueducts. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I had to randomly point that out. I don't know why. But it's either that, shell out a ton of time that I just don't have, nor do I want to commit to Mass Effect 3 multiplayer if I'm going to be bored the vast majority of the time until I actually get what I want. I am absolutely not also going to shell out like 20... I mean, honestly, I already spent like $20 worth of points and didn't get anything that I wanted, really. I could theoretically be spending $20, $40, $60, $100 even. And even with $100, I'm theoretically not guaranteed to get anything that I want, because it's random chance. It's just stupid. You should never ever make a system like that. It's incredibly punitive to your players. And I refuse to waste money, essentially. I refuse to waste money and get a bunch of random crap, random weapons that I don't care about from the single player, or mods, or consumables, you know, in my Premium Spectre packs, it's like 3 of the 5 or 6 items, whatever it is, are always just consumables anyway. So it's just, it's really, and I don't care at all about any of those. I don't find that interesting. It's just, I think it's a really, really bad system. And I think this sort of just illusion of, oh, they're giving us such a great deal. They keep giving us all this DLC for free. They're so awesome. Except, no, they're not. They're giving it to you for free because they figure that if they give it to you for free, a lot of players will wind up spending way more than $15 on BioWare points to get the packs that they actually want. So, no, they're not saints. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, they're huge douchebags. But that's just me. I mean, I especially wanted to come back to play this new stuff in the Earth DLC, and I am horrified that every class in the Earth DLC is essentially just one of the base classes from the game, only 2.0, and is way cooler than any of the base classes in the game. Why would they not make the base classes the classes they added in the Earth DLC, the Paladin and the Devastator? I also thought it was pretty funny. If you watched my Sentinel playthrough, at the end of it, I had a whole bunch of ideas of making tech armor more interesting. One of them was to turn tech armor into a shield, like the Shadow Broker had in the Shadow Broker DLC, which is what the Paladin does. Another idea was to make the melee attack inherit elemental properties, which the Paladin also has. And another idea was to make it a modular thing, where you could get like a rocket launcher on your shoulder or a grenade launcher on your Omni tool, which the Devastator is getting. So I thought that was pretty funny. Not to say like, oh my god, they totally stole my ideas, herp-de-derp. Not at all. I just think it's kind of cool that we kind of had the same sort of idea, and they wound up actually implementing it. Though once again, why the hell is the Devastator not the base soldier? Because the Devastator is way, way cooler than the base soldier. Why is the Paladin not the base Sentinel? The Paladin is infinitely cooler than the base Sentinel. I don't know, it makes no sense to me. I think it's like ridiculous, just what has happened. And you guys might also be thinking, well, Danny, if you want to play with the new weapons at least, why don't you just mod them into the base single-player game? Well, for one thing, you can only mod I think the first DLC was Resurgence. You can only mod those into the single-player. And I don't think you can do it by editing the, whatever it's called, the coalesce file, or I think that's what it's called. You can't modify it by editing that. You have to actually use the Gibbs save editor. And I was considering that, but I've heard that they're not really balanced for the single player. The Geth SMG especially, I've heard repeatedly, is like way overpowered for the single player. At least that's what I've heard. It might not be true in practice, especially on Insanity. I don't know. But frankly, and especially when It's what? The Resurgence is the Kashak, the Striker, the Explosive AR, and the Geth SMG. Personally, I am most interested in stuff that came out in the second DLC, and especially the Earth DLC. And I was going to, you know, say, screw it, play my Soldier and finish that playthrough. I actually started it months ago, but didn't have a chance to finish it because of Diablo 3. And after seeing the Earth DLC and what's in that, I just lost all motivation to play my Soldier. Because 2 weapons that are coming in the Earth DLC, one is basically the Revenant 2.0, and the Revenant's one of my favorite weapons, so that just made me lose all motivation to just use the Revenant because there's this badass new light machine gun in Earth DLC that I can't use. And they're implementing, and I don't know if I ever talked about this, but I love shotguns. I've said that. I love shotguns, and I was contemplating to myself, way back when I was playing the game, Mass Effect 3, I was contemplating how would they add new shotguns? What is lacking in the shotgun department? And one of them was, well, they don't have any combat shotguns. They don't have any automatic or burst shotguns. And they're adding one of those as well. They're adding a drum magazine shotgun, essentially. And I would love to play with that, but I can't. I mean, I can't play with that in the single player. I can only play with the multiplayer, and my odds of actually getting them in any reasonable period of time is essentially nil. And I only have, right now, a new game is coming out in 8 days. So I have 8 days. I would have had over 2 weeks if I had started Mass Effect 3 a few days ago or what is it now, maybe 6 days ago, as of me making this commentary when I finished Legend of Grimrock, so I would have had more time, but I played the multiplayer, I was bored of it, stuff came out, lost motivation to play the Soldier. I guarantee you, this is basically my plan. I will go back to Mass Effect 3 eventually. I will not be going back to the multiplayer, guys. I'm sorry. I know a lot of you wanted me to play the multiplayer. The only way I would conceivably do that is if my friends played. My good friends played, and they're not going to. Because because EA is ridiculous, and after 5 months on Origin, Mass Effect 3 is still full price. It's still $60, which is absolutely ridiculous. I just bought Deus Ex, the entire... And I realize Deus Ex is probably close to a year, 2 years. You know, I'm going to actually check. Editing magic. I checked. It was August 23rd. It's not even a year old. It's almost a year old. It's not quite a year old. I bought Deus Ex Human Revolution, all the DLC for that, Deus Ex 1, and Deus Ex 1's expansion, all of it, for $15 on Steam. The entire thing for $15. Mass Effect 3, after 5 months, is still full price on Origin. EA, you can't compete with Steam because you're incredibly greedy and you don't drop prices on your games. You're never going to be able to compete with Steam if you don't do that. That's freaking ridiculous, and it's still full price. So my friends are not going to pay $60 for Mass Effect 3 after it being out for 5 months, and you can only digitally download it on Origin. You can't buy it on Steam because Origin came out and EA won't let you buy it on Steam anymore. The Mass Effect stuff, at least 3 on Steam. So I'm not going to be playing and doing commentaries on the multiplayer. It's too grindy, it's too boring for me. Just to get what I want is going to take way too much time, and I'm not guaranteed to get anything anyway because it's a drop system with no surefire way of unlocking what you want as of right now, as of this commentary. And frankly, I just want none of it. So I will be going back, though. I will be doing a Soldier playthrough. I will do that once they have new content and new weapons available for the single player, and they said they're going to. I will gladly shell out $15 for DLC for the single player. And I think what I'll do is, when I do have a lot of time as well, is I'll do one huge playthrough, and play through, no plot, just all of Mass Effect 1, all of Mass Effect 2, and all of Mass Effect 3 as one huge Soldier playthrough, because I did always want to do a big playthrough of the first 2 games as well. I also wanted to import a save so I could see the plot stuff for myself for Mass Effect 3 and see how my choices were, how they affected it, because I never got that opportunity because I didn't want to make the game too easy, because it's already pretty easy on Insanity. I mean, it's really easy on Insanity, and starting out at a high level would make it even easier, so I wanted none of that. But it's my 6th playthrough, my last one, so I could probably just get away with it, and it wouldn't really matter, I think, at this point. That's my plan for that. Hopefully I'll be able to do that eventually, especially when they finally release some actual content, some real content for the single-player game. To all of the Diablo 3 people, if you're still following me, if you're watching this video, my plan, and I've said this in comments and people have asked me, I will be going back to Diablo 3 when the PvP patch comes out. I'll be trying that out, assuming the PvP patch is good. I mean, I say that, it could be awful, and if it's awful, I will go back and I'll be done again in like a week, and that'll be that. I'm not going to play a game that I don't think is entertaining, and I don't think the end game for Diablo 3 is entertaining, but I'm not going to get into that because I've already ranted about it in excruciating detail when the game came out months ago. So that's that. That's what my plan is for those 2 games. If you're wondering, okay, now to actually get to why I'm playing BioShock. I'm playing BioShock because I actually have always wanted to do a commentary for this and the second game, BioShock 1 and BioShock 2. I've always wanted to do commentary for this game. This is definitely one of my favorite games of all time. I love the BioShock series. BioShock 1 more so than BioShock 2, at least in terms of story. I personally think BioShock 1 has the best story of any game I've ever played. And I have played every Blizzard game, barring the stuff they made in like the early 90s, the Dwarf game and the racing game. Basically, I mean, ton of interplay stuff, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Baldur's Gate series, basically every BioWare game like ever made, Bethesda stuff, the majority of the Final Fantasy games, not all of them, but a lot of them. I've played a lot of games over the years, and this is by far my favorite story of any game. I think this game's plot is better than most books and movies, even. It's just one of the best plots I've ever read, played, I don't know the verb here. But for one thing, I also just love the game's atmosphere, I love its mechanics, I love its themes, I love basically everything about it. If I had one qualm with this game, especially the second game, it would be that even on hard, it gets to be really easy, especially in BioShock 2, with the way that you gain power. Eventually, you just become this ridiculous god, and like nothing is difficult anymore. But despite that, love the games, really. And here's another big reason why I'm playing, because BioShock Infinite, which isn't in Rapture anymore, but BioShock Infinite's coming out next year, first quarter, like February, and I really wanted to have commentaries for the first 2 games before doing that game, because I will 100% be doing a commentary for BioShock Infinite. I'm really looking forward to that game. So I wanted these to lead into it, and I'm doing this right now because I have a short period of time where just I have nothing to do. Again, a game is coming. I'm not going to say what it is because I want it to be a surprise, kind of. I'm not a surprise. In about a week or so. But I don't think that game will take me more than 2 weeks, if that, maybe even a week to devour, so to just consume. So I'll have another period of time where if I don't finish this playthrough in a week or so, I can come back to it after that game and finish it then, and hopefully have time to do the second game as well. And I know, yeah, the Infinite's 6 months away, but guys, you gotta kind of think ahead to an extent. I have to think ahead because there's a lot of stuff. This year is very just backloaded in the third and fourth quarters, because Borderlands 2 is coming out and Torchlight 2 is coming out, and I will be playing those games a lot. I'll probably be playing Borderlands 2 for at least something like 2 months. I have something like 400 hours played of Borderlands 1. So I'm going to be playing a lot of Borderlands 2 because everything I've seen indicates that it's better than Borderlands 1 in every possible way, and it looks amazing. Torchlight 2, it's pretty much the same thing. I don't have hundreds of hours played of Torchlight 1, just like maybe, I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, I just looked at Steam, and actually I have a lot more than I thought. I thought I only had maybe 30 or 40, but I have 85, so, and Torchlight 2 looks way better than Torchlight 1. And fortunately for me, they were actually coming out, like, right at the same time. So that would have been awful for me, because I would have had to play both of them or, like, wait for one, and I had no desire to do that. But I just heard that they actually pushed back Torchlight 2 again for even more polish. So that's great for me. More polish, it'll be even better, and I'll have time to play the shit out of Borderlands 2. Wait for it. Boom. Headshot. I can hit stationary targets. I'm so good.
Where you going? No,
But also,
Charlie!
Guild Wars 2 is coming out, I think August 28th, and I will for sure be playing that. I don't know how long I'll be playing it. No promises I'm going to be playing that forever. I mean, I've tended to stay away from MMOs for the most part because competition is ridiculous, and I don't have the attention span to play one game for... Well, I have technically played World of Warcraft on and off since it came out, but again, on and off. I've taken over a year break from the game, so I don't really have the desire to play one game for an entire year and make commentaries for one game for like an entire year. But I like to move on and go to different games, and helps keep me sane. But I will be playing Guild Wars 2. Also, Dark Souls is being ported to PC. Some sort of like special edition is being ported to PC. And I wanted to play that for years. I've heard it's extremely hard, but extremely fun. And players have actually commenters have requested that I play it since my very first stuff. And to which I said I can't because I don't have a PS3 for one, and for two, I don't have the recording stuff I would need to play it, and especially right when I was starting, it costs hundreds of dollars to get everything you need to record on a console. So I wasn't willing to make that investment. Even now, I'm not really willing to make that investment. But yay, it's being, because I've already made an investment in PC stuff, but it's being ported to PC, so I'll be playing that. I think that also comes out in August. I think it comes out right around Guild Wars 2, actually. Maybe a little later. But that's on my agenda. I'd like to play Dawn Guard when that comes to PC. I don't think I'll be recording that, though, because I'm not going to be making a playthrough, I don't think, of Skyrim, unless for some reason you guys want to see that, but I don't know why you would, really. It's not... I don't know if it's really a game that's fun to watch. But I'm probably forgetting other games. There's a lot of stuff coming out that I am very interested in and have been looking forward to for quite some time. So that's why I want to get this BioShock stuff up and running early, because then I won't have to worry about it so much when the next game's actually coming out, and I can just redirect people that might start watching me when BioShock Infinite comes out to these playthroughs if they're interested in seeing more BioShock stuff. But yes, that is kind of the plan. That was a huge rambling mess.
Here's a toast to Diane McClintock.
Let's see. As far as BioShock goes, this isn't my first playthrough. I have played it before. I've beaten it before on hard. If at any given time it looks like I don't know what's going on, honestly, that was purposely done just for effect to make it seem more dramatic when things are going on. So when I'm looking around frantically, that is purely for effect. But I will, on this playthrough, I think I'm going to do a good playthrough, so a gathering playthrough, not a harvest playthrough, and because I'm a wiener and I'm a goody-goody, and I will probably be using the Tommy gun and especially the shotgun. My first playthrough ever was a wrench-only playthrough, which was extremely fun. The wrench, honestly, in my opinion, is the most powerful weapon in the game when you use it properly and you spec with the right plasmids. And it was a very fun playthrough. This is on hard. My first playthrough was on hard. I always play on hard. If you followed me since I started months ago, I always play on the hardest difficulty. I'm also playing with vita-chambers turned off, so when I die, I'm dead for good. Which is not to say I'm playing like hardcore or anything, it's still, I can always reload. So it's not as if I'm dead forever, I can still reload a previous save. But normally when you die, you go to a vita chamber and you get automatically resurrected, and then you can go and just brute force your way through. But I won't be doing that. I don't ever play hardcore really. I've done it in the past and I just don't enjoy it. I don't like playing an RPG for a long period of time, like Diablo 2 or Diablo 3, and just having bad luck or screwing up, you know, I was tired or something and made a mistake and just die and lose lots of hours of gameplay. I never find that fun, ever. So I've done it in the past, I'm not going to do it in the future. But I'm going to start out for this playthrough using mostly the wrench. I do have a pistol, I haven't really used it. I got one guy who was standing still. I'm not a terribly good shot to begin with, and this game especially, the iron sights are like gigantic, and it's just kind of weird. I'll probably get used to it again. I haven't played the game in something like maybe a year, 2.
Hey Brenda, you care to tell
So,
me why you had a hole in the wall the size of
and again, there's going to be people talking. I'll probably wind up talking through it most of the time, though maybe not. I'm going to be doing the entire... I'm talking to this guy right now, but hey, you have subtitles if you're really interested to hear it clearly. And I am going to be doing this entirely live. This is going to be the only episode that is post-com, and I did that because I had so much to say, because a lot has happened, and I wanted you guys to know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and why I'm not doing what I'm not doing. So I needed to do this as a post-com. The levels, I'm not sure if I'm going to have long episodes or short episodes. This is a long one. I just did the entire first level as one episode, which fit pretty nicely in like a 30-minute window. The other ones, I don't know if I'm going to do an entire level in one episode, because a lot of them are quite a bit longer than 30 minutes. Probably break them down. But just like Legend of Grimrock, it's going to be all live comm. And I'm going to use, like I said, the shotgun and the Tommy gun, most likely. Not really weapons that I need to have a great aim or anything, or twitch aim. I don't really feel like aiming. I am kind of lazy when it comes to that. I prefer just to spray in the general direction, or hit them with a shotgun and aim with a shotgun. And I also tend to like melee stuff better. As I said, did the wrench for my first playthrough, and that was really fun. I honestly wouldn't even mind using the wrench for this playthrough because I enjoy it so much. If and when, hopefully when, I get to BioShock 2, I will 100% be doing a drill playthrough. My first playthrough, I used just all the weapons. I actually used, believe it or not, the harpoon through the majority of the game once I got it. And if you know me, if you've played or watched my other playthroughs, you know that I don't like to snipe, and that's essentially a sniper rifle, but I did use it throughout basically the whole game once it was unlocked. But we are getting near the end here. We're moving on to the final room. We're going to get introduced to a good friend in just a moment. Here we go. That's really all I have to say about my plans and my reasoning. I do really apologize, guys, if you really wanted to see Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. I wish, believe me, I really wish I found it more enjoyable, and especially, I could get past even just the grindy nature. I'll tell you what, I could deal with everything I don't like. Everything I said that I don't like, that I complained about, I could deal with all of it. Grinding and whatever, I would be able to deal with it. I'm very patient, and I have done way more boring stuff for way worse of a reason. But as long as I don't have a guarantee to unlock what I want, I would have no problem grinding out 100,000, 200,000 credits to get a guaranteed race, to just be able to unlock the race of my choosing. I would have no problem even spending a couple of bucks to unlock the Batarian Soldier, honestly. But as it stands under the current system, I just refuse to do it. I'm not going to waste that much time. I'm not going to spend that much money. So I could see past everything if I could just get a guaranteed chance, or just a guaranteed unlock of the stuff I wanted. Like basically every other free-to-play game that's good lets you do. Yeah,
What is that there?
I'd be willing to do that.
It's always the same.
And freaking Mass Effect 3 isn't even free to play. It's freaking $60. It was then and it still is now, at least digital download. So I don't understand this logic. And this whole give it away for free is nonsense. It's not free at all. It's either a huge time investment or a huge amount of money. So whatever. That's why I'm not doing that, and the people that really want me to play Diablo 3, again guys, I was totally burnt out. I still, when I got to 60 within like 4 days of the game coming out, 4 or 5 days, and I have no desire to go back until there's new content, basically. And just quality of life improvements aren't going to bring me back. I mean, new content, especially legendaries having an increased drop rate and having interesting procs. That's going to be one of the #1 things that will bring me back. So, PvP patch for Diablo 3, and new single-player DLC for Mass Effect 3. And for now, I'm going to be doing this, and then I'm going to be moving on to another game in like a week, and then lots of stuff in September and October. And I know, guys, and I'm sorry also that I haven't been putting out stuff super frequently. When a game comes out that's new, I do put out stuff really frequently, but in between releases, things slow down. Summer has been really terrible. Nothing has really come out. And I've also just been really busy. I mean, I do have stuff to do other than this. I do have commitments and other things, and I have been busy. And I've had... This past month has been a real series of unfortunate events with illness, with power outages, and all kinds of other stuff that's happened. So, but this, I guarantee you, I'll be coming out with videos very frequently. I love this game. I enjoy every second of playing it. Even this first video I found really fun. Even just doing this, like, essentially tutorial over again, really fun. So I have every motivation to play this game and put videos out ASAP. So I will be putting out videos frequently. I mean, a lot of you guys haven't followed me since, I mean, of course, just started following me like with Diablo 3 or something else. The Mass Effect 3, you know, you guys that have followed me since Mass Effect 3, also, thank you. For those of you that have followed me since I started doing this, just maybe 4 months ago, if that. Really, really, really appreciate it. You don't know how much I appreciate it. I am infinitely thankful for all your guys' support and your comments and your likes and just subbing and everything. Really, 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 really appreciative. Can't stress that enough. And for those of you that did follow me when Mass Effect 3 just came out, you know that I was putting out like 10 videos like a day, just about, which I honestly don't know how I even managed to do that. That's ridiculous. But lately it's more been like 10 videos a week. But again, things will pick up more. I promise you, when Borderlands 2 comes out, I will be putting out many, many, many videos. Very, very, very. That's for sure going to happen. It's going to be essentially like a hell week for me. Only a really, really fun hell week. So, that's that. We are coming to a close here. This is right near the end. This is actually longer than I expected. Oh, and before I forget, I actually never finished my Adept playthrough, I don't think. I think I forgot to upload the final episodes. They actually are done. I've been sitting on them, and I just completely forgot to upload them. So for those of you that really did want to see more new Mass Effect 3 stuff, I have like 7 Adept episodes, including the final episodes in that series if you're interested in that. So I will dig those out and upload them sometime this week as well. So hopefully that will satiate that at least a little bit. I don't know. That's all I can really do the time being. But there's actually a cutscene here, so I am going to call it. Thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and have a good one.
So tell me, friend, which one of the bitches sent you? The KGB wolf or the CIA jackal? Here's the news. Rapture isn't some sunken ship for you to plunder. And Andrew Ryan isn't a giddy socialite who can be slapped around by government muscle. And with that, farewell. Or До свидания, Jack.
So good. I'll show